I'm standing here at Lochnagar crater on the 28th of July 2016, exactly 100 years to the day from when the 2nd Division AIF took control of the battle at Pozieres and made their first assault against the Germans at Pozieres. Lochnagar crater was detonated exactly 4 weeks earlier on the 1st of July, marking the start of the Battle of the Somme, and it would prove to be one of the most tragic actions that the British Army ever saw. The 25th, 26th, 27th and 28th Division of the 7th Brigade, as part of the 2nd Division, had bivouacked around Lochnagar crater the night before they were sent in on the first assault, and it would prove equally devastating to this 7th Brigade, in particular the 26th Battalion, which had come from Tasmania and Queensland. The reason the 7th Brigade had bivouacked here is that 4 weeks earlier this was the German front line, and there are trenches which are located just the other side of the road here. Indeed, Lochnagar crater, when it exploded through dust, it is estimated 1 mile into the air, and the soil went as a line from the crossbar on that cross there down over the top of the German trench lines, burying the Germans alive. And in the previous week, when the 1st AIF had been in command of the Battle of Pozieres, they had taken this trench line, as well as all the trench lines through the town of La Boisselle, which is just behind me, the town which is just before the town of Pozieres, only a few hundred metres away from each other, in fact. So it was because of the 1st AIF that the 7th Brigade, as part of 2 Div, could enter the trench lines here, making their way into La Boisselle to their form-up point before going over the top and rushing towards Pozieres. I'm standing on the very edge of the La Boisselle township, and you probably can't see the cross behind me, but it is only a couple of 100 metres up the road. The trench line, the old German trench lines that the AIF had taken control of, were just behind me on this side of the road. So the 25th, 26th, 27th and 28th battalions would move up this trench line and go through the village of La Boisselle through there. The battalion that I'm following, the 27th Battalion, Unley Zone, would be in reserve for this conflict. They would have moved up here first a couple of hours beforehand to have secured the position from which the 25th, 26th and 28th Battalion would then have made their assault. That there is Pozieres, and to give an understanding of the difference, just behind me here is the rear end, or forward edge rather, of La Boisselle village. Now over to the left a little bit further you've got Sausage Valley. I'll get into why it was called Sausage Valley a little later on, but let's just say that Mash Valley is over the other side. Now, Sausage Valley is where the 26th, 25th and 28th battalions would move up before committing to the fight against the Germans dug in over here at Pozieres. That would be a distance of the best part of 1 kilometre. But as the Australians made their way up from Sausage Valley towards Pozieres, the artillery fire, which was meant to clear the barbed wire entanglement, had only lasted for 2 minutes and hadn't done the job at all. The Aussies of the 25th, 26th and 28th Battalion were cut down by machine gun fire from the Germans in Pozieres because they simply couldn't get through the barbed wire entanglements despite some of the most heroic efforts, which unfortunately will never be able to be properly recorded because of the enormous casualty rate that was suffered. Of the 25th, 26th and 28th Battalion, the 26th was to suffer the most. 900 of the some 1,000 men were killed in this one action tonight, 100 years ago to the day, in a battle which, over its duration of a mere 8 weeks, saw more casualties than was seen at Gallipoli over a period of 8 months. It is a bit of our history which we must do more to understand. Because of their sacrifice, we have the wonderful lifestyles that we enjoy. And this assault, which proved to be an absolute disaster, wouldn't be the end of it. The 2nd Division, 2 nights later, on the 4th of August, 2 years to the day that the First World War commenced, would make a second assault, and the 27th Battalion, Unley's Own, would play a pivotal role that night.